Yo, what's up, everybody? Geek-tastic Cypher.
Oh, sorry.
Yo, dude, I I'm still laughing at listening to the pod Joe Budden today.
I didn't get through it all. Oh, I got through some
Can
of
I
it.
play a part for you?
You can play all the parts because I got my phone blown up at 10:30 this morning. People freaking out about it, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then I guess at that point, whatever went down, and then yeah. So you can.
I gotta play a part for you. I got to, because I was just like, so. What's up, everybody? First of all, thank you for tuning into Geek-tastic Cypher. As you know, we're a podcast ourselves.
Right.
I personally never thought of Joe Budden as a mentor, but I've spoken to some people that have said that his style of podcast is what inspired them to do what they're doing. He talks about that regularly, that he feels like he's inspired people and that he's led a charge in some ways, and that's fine. I respect that there's a whole movement of people out there that like what he's been doing and are on that wavelength. But then so I'm gonna play the sign off from the show today, and this is how he ended the show. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Never asked for this drop. I never asked for this drop in here, Rory. You piece of shit. I never asked you to show up when my son was born either. I never asked for nothing. It's Parks. It's Parks' house. It's Parks' engineering. It's Parks' kindness and grace, you fucking piece of shit.
Joe Budden is yo, Joe Budden is crazy. He's crazy.
The man is, yeah, that's insane. I don't even.
You've been doing a show with someone since 2015.
Yeah.
And you and the person have a falling out. That's fine. But for you to go on and at the end of a show say, I never asked for you. I never asked for this. I never asked you to show up for when my son was born. You fucking piece of shit.
You don't come back from that.
Nope. And the best part is right before he played that and right before he said it, he says, you guys need to get your minds right. And then, maybe we could, like, he kind of tries to smooth it out a little bit with the idea that, maybe we could fix this.
Yeah, but how could they fix that after that? And like, can we right away say that nobody asked for that ice drop? What was that? That weird ice drop at the beginning? I don't know. I don't want to ever hear that again. I'm sorry.
That is crazy, dude.
But like,
it is crazy to me.
That is like, yeah, like you said, there's no coming back from that.
No,
it'd be like one of us doing that to the other person. I just don't see how you don't let, as Rory or Mal, right? How you don't let your ego stop you from even just reassociating yourself with this guy, because you coming back from this makes you look weak. You know how it is, right? That's, I don't know what's on the bedrock of their friendship, but like this to me is unacceptable, man.
Yeah, you call me a
piece of shit. It was funny. It was funny before. It was funny when the whole thing went down. It wasn't really funny then. But this is bridge burning 101.
Yeah,
like, legit. That's crazy.
I was listening to the whole pod, and the beginning of it was already like, I was kind of in shock at how intense it was, because immediately off the top, he's kind of like, yo, they're not here. And you're just like, okay. And then Joe goes into his usual kind of antics of just acting like things are normal, but you can tell he has something on his mind, so he's about to pop off, and you're just like, okay, Joe, get in your bag. Do you? Okay, let's see if this is going to go anywhere interesting. And then he just starts going on rant after rant after rant. 2 hours and 40 minutes of every time they change the subject, he goes back to it and starts shitting on them again. Continues.
So they were on air for this.
No, Rory and Mal were not there. He's by himself with Parks and I guess the Ian, his manager.
Oh, right. Okay.
He said like half the crew was there or whatever.
Yeah.
Just those
But not Rory and Mal. They weren't there for this in person.
Oh.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. But yeah.
Oh no,
okay.
if you were saying that to their faces, like
You think for a second Joe would have gotten off saying something like that in front of Mal? Mal would have decked him, and he knows that. That's why he did it. Because the whole thing about the last episode was Mal saying, "To me, it's about respect. As long as there's respect, it's okay." And then Joe went and did this, and that there's obviously not
the most disrespectful shit I ever heard in my life.
Yep,
that's crazy.
You know that's disrespectful. So
wow. I mean,
wow. I mean, Grizz, you're not wrong. This is funny shit.
Grizz loves chaos though. Grizz.
You're a big freak.
Every time we're going at each other's throats, he feels like the puppet master, you know.
Right.
In the background.
Joker.
So my question to you guys now. Joe Budden does this whole public, pissing on his whole crew publicly. Tells Rory, has a whole section where he says to Rory, "You are fired. You are in breach of contract, and you are fired." Says it outright. Doesn't say anything about Mal for most of the show. Then later on,
shoot him.
But then later on, it says you too are fired because he knows that's the closest he could get to talking out the side of his mouth to Mal. That's the closest he could get.
Okay, by doing that one move, you know what he just did? Buy Jay-Z, buy any kind of recognition to Hova,
I've been telling everyone
buy recognition, buy Diddy, buy Khaled, buy a lot of people. Yeah, like you're fired yourself.
I was explaining to one of my friends today and to somebody else actually from work. I was explaining that Mal
brother.
Exactly. I explained that Mal and Joe have been tight forever, and the fact that Joe is taking this thing so personally with Mal, even though Mal said it's all about respect, is going to cause way more ripples than I think Joe is aware or is ready to deal with.
If I can, that's legit like us being a concert podcast.
Yeah.
And one of y'all being related to either Donald K. Donald or the Molsons.
Yeah.
And me saying nuts to you.
Yeah.
While also trying to continue said podcast about concerts. What do you do?
I mean, we'll see just how much it affects Joe Budden's career at this point. I feel like honestly, not listening back, but thinking back to his career from the beginning, this is par for the course for him. Yeah, he's had so many of these moments where he implodes or explodes and then has to come back from that brink in some way, shape, or form. So honestly, he's the marathon man at this point, in my opinion. Like, this is it. He's just laughing himself.
Is this a marathon you want to be running?
How much? I mean, he loves it. He clearly loves the drama.
So solid for so long. It's like you didn't have to like this. Like I can't even like
420 episodes.
Yeah, I've accepted the most horrid shit, and like I can kind of go back on some of the dumb things Kanye's done, but this is ridiculous. Like I may not go back, and I'm a day one listener, and I don't think I'm gonna I don't want to hear.
I'm not planning to go back. Yeah,
right.
I'm not planning to go back because. So here's my thought on this. I'm gonna ask this to you guys. I'm Joe Budden, and I own this, and I just started this network. And now, I'm not Joe Budden. I'm one of the other shows on the Joe Budden network. Right? I just witnessed Joe Budden go on his podcast, and because of a disagreement, publicly fire the people on his show, call them pieces of shit. And I didn't want you I didn't tell you to come when my son was born, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with anything. I don't know what that has to do with the podcast.
He just went on a rant from what I could understand.
Well, I think if anything, he's trying to make the point that you are not my friend. We were never friends. You were a business acquaintance. I think that's very much the point he's trying to make.
That's a lie, but anyways.
Yeah, but the point is, if you say something like that to somebody, you're that is burning a bridge, and that's burning a bridge. Like,
can I ask? Can I add something?
Yeah,
sure.
It is the Joe Budden podcast, right? So if I'm going to work, it is.
No.
So you still respect.
This seems to me like Rory and Mal. There's still what? Sorry, respect.
Well, there's still respect. So what if it's
100%, and that's a character flaw that I think it'll be hard for him to wash out because he's always been this way.
And there's also the fact that you always had support. Like, you know, you're spitting on what was your support system. Like, you didn't do 420 episodes on your own.
Kind of started, almost on not all of them, but
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying it based off of what you guys. I've learned more from you guys.
Rory came in at 17. Maul came in at 77. Before that, there was Marissa, but she was fired before the first.
Yeah, but if you're hired within the first 100 episodes,
yeah.
Okay, but not even just that. When did the podcast pop off? The podcast
views review.
Exactly.
Can I add, guys? This is what I'm talking about. Like, I get the whole thing. I like.
Maul wasn't.
No, that's not.
And I don't really feel the need to play devil's advocate, but they should have worked this out at the beginning. If this really was a startup, right? They should have worked out the percentages and the shares.
I'm with Toby because where they fucked up,
they only asked for a salary, probably.
Not only that, but the minute you go public,
hold on, because you guys, the episode literally talks about the fact that they're paid, and that their question to Joe was, like, what are the books to this? So. It sounds like Joe was saying, you guys don't need to see the books. This is mine. You don't own any of this. Right. And they were asking questions about the books. So fine. If you want to have that discussion with them. Have that discussion with them on the side. Have that discussion with them through their lawyers. Have that discussion with them through the contract. Mm-hmm. But why don't have that discussion with them on the podcast, calling them fucking pieces of shit and firing them publicly. And that's why my question. So that's why I still have the question. I'm one of the other shows on the Joe Budden Network, not that particular podcast, but on the Joe Budden Network. He has what, 2 other shows right now?
I don't know. But are they? Is he part of any of those 2 other shows?
No. These are shows on his network.
Cool. Okay, continue.
So he has 2 shows, maybe 3. I'm not sure, on his network. Mm-hmm. If I'm one of those shows and I see the head of my podcast network, when he's upset, go on his show and fire people by calling them fucking pieces of shit and firing them publicly on the podcast, do I feel comfortable working on this person's network if this is how they react when they're upset?
I take that as a lesson for how I approach them in the future, using Rory and Mal as an example of where not to go. Mm-hmm. If it is my own show on his network, I'm sure we've worked out our contracts and how that scale is going to go and stuff like that. But I do have it in the back of my mind that he could screw me over at any point. But if I'm using it to build my rep, I don't necessarily leave just because I saw someone get fired in a dramatic fashion.
And if anything, whenever you do renegotiation of contracts or you start bringing things up,
don't talk to him.
And you make sure that you have shit signed. So that even if he decides to fuck you over, you turn around and be like, either A, you bend a knee, or contract to lawyers. Like, I
mean, for him to be comfortable enough to say you can sue and you'll lose is one of the things I saw that he said.
Yeah.
Then he must have an airtight contract.
Did he say
exactly.
Sue and you lose?
Yeah, he did. He says you and bombs can audit and you and bombs can sue, you will lose. Ta-da!
Oh, that part. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like you needed me to say the N-word at this point so you could get it.
No. But he said that. But that's the thing. He said that before firing them publicly on a podcast, which I don't know about you, but in a HR contract, you can't fire someone like that. That's considered an aggressive act. Like, you can't if the president of a company.
It's America, though. Is it the same? Yeah. Is it the same here as it is there?
Yes, but you can't fire someone by like, if I'm the boss of a company, I can't walk into a room, yell at those people publicly, and start calling them names and tell them to get the fuck out.
He'd probably already done it beforehand.
Yeah, I was about to say he probably called them, was like, "Yes, I'm about to start the podcast. Fuck you 1, fuck you 2, and let's go." Like,
I mean,
it's for sure. It sounds like he came to the podcast with intent. He probably already saw it through before he went on that tirade.
I hope. Yeah,
I would hope. obviously.
Because I don't think it's as simple as you could just come out here and start.
No, for sure not.
Yo, man, how you gonna tell this man? I didn't tell you. I didn't want you when my son was like, dude. Like, they've talked about that on the show.
Yeah, no.
They've talked about the fact that their relationship. I don't know. So I mean, Joe kept saying throughout the last, and I'll admit it, Joe has mentioned.
This is crazy to me. Sorry, I was about to burst out laughing.
I know.
But
I started the pod by laughing because it is crazy. This man went on his show, did 2 hours and 40 minutes of insulting and calling them names. Every time Parks tried to change the subject, Parks would be like, yo, the new J. Cole. And they'd be like, yeah, J. Cole. Yo, you know what really pisses me off? And then he'd go back into another 20-minute rant. And then
not to mention, he ended up deleting the episode.
Right?
Oh, he did?
You had to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took the episode down and put it behind the paywall after.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's either really evil or super genius.
Oh, that's
he used his episode for therapy, man.
I will give him credit. You have an episode that you know is going to pop off. So you pull the episode after it's already been leaked. People are already talking about it. You put it behind the paywall and tell everybody you got to sign up for the Patreon to hear this whole episode now that everyone's talking about.
For all the regulars who can't get it and don't know the ways of Reddit.
Yeah. Yo, man, I'm sorry. I'm not, Joe, I'm telling you right now,
bro. I'm not paying you.
I was not paying you to listen to that. If I had paid and got a 2 hour and 40-minute episode of that, I would have been vexed. I'm not sitting there to listen to you just go crazy for 2 hours shitting on people that you
but this is the internet today though. This is social media. People are gonna eat this up.
Oh yeah, this is
oof.
This is gonna be great because I mean, so I've had a few people ask me like, do you think Mal and Rory would start another podcast? No, they're not going to. Rory doesn't want to do the podcasting. He's even said it publicly. Mal is
what's he gonna do?
He's doing music. He's been working.
Is he a producer?
No, he's
like manager or something.
Oh, he was an A&R. That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's also he's making his own album.
Doing what?
Cool.
Singing, I guess.
Fuck out.
He's been having. What are you talking, Skinny? He's been talking about it for like 6 months on the show.
No, that's with him and Emotional Oranges, man.
And he's not working on anything.
I feel like that's just their album that they're working on. He's their manager.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it. I could be wrong.
I don't know. They've had conversations where Joe has said to Rory, I can't wait till you put out your album. And Rory has said, oh, I had so-and-so come through to put a verse on my track.
Oh, no, he's for sure talking about Emotional Oranges. The groupie managers. Yeah.
Okay. I understood that differently. But yeah, if that's the case.
I could say, I could be cocky and say, yes, he's not putting out an album. But if he does, I am not here for it. And that is that.
No, that's it.
It says he's a music producer too from his bio here.
Yeah,
everybody's a music producer if you hit like spacebar on FL Studio.
Oh shit! Why are you not giving him? Did Joe Budden ruin your respect or anything you had for Rory at this point?
No, I barely had anything for Rory in the way that he just came in and was kind of cocky. And then I do still have bad respect for him. I'm going to miss him because he's one of my favorite parts, but I love to hate him. And I just, a producer now. Yeah, okay.
Actually, he only has one producer credit, and it's on a Joe Budden album.
Here's my thing about being a producer. If you started after me and you're doing better than me, fuck you. That's all. That's all.
Hook me up, man.
If you started after me and are doing better than me,
legit, if you got like a 10-year after me and you're literally like you have a Grammy now and you're like 22 years old,
no.
That's
deep. That's deep.
Grimace.
Some would say that's skin deep.
That's just bitter. That's just bitter.
Shit. Wow. I can't wait to see how this unfolds over the next few days.
Yeah. Great. I mean, he ends it off by saying this the podcast might be Patreon only moving forward. I don't know. We'll see. And then he just keeps saying all that stuff, and I'm like,
all these stupid things. I'm not paying for any of it. Leave. Goodbye. Go away.
The only podcast I'm paying for is the Luminaries, Midnight Miracles, which just dropped. That's Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and Dave Chappelle, and the first 2 episodes were solid.
That sounds amazing.
I know.
There is a paywall
podcast.
But again, Skinny, I'll put it to you this way: it's $35 for the year for Luminary. If I would say, if you want to wait till he starts putting them out as vinyl, because that's the whole thing, right? He's going to be putting these episodes out as vinyl. That's one of the things they're doing. The episodes are exactly the length of a vinyl. It's 22 minutes, and each episode is side A and side B. So next week is going to be side A, side B. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be, but one of my buddy was saying, if anything, he'll release it as a box set. I'd rather own the box set and have some like dope because this is a throwback. This is a throwback. Like this is a thing they used to do. You used to be able to get like a comedy record or something like that, and you'd listen to it and sit back and have a chill time. I'm down for that because I don't really want to give Luminary my money. I'd rather give Dave Chappelle my money if I'm going to give somebody my money.
I wonder if he has a stake in Luminary though, because it's so new.
No, Luminary's been around a minute. Yeah, I mean, Luminary's been around for a little bit. The Trevor Noah podcast has been on Luminary for a second. What's his name? Crazy boy that was married to Katy Perry. Russell Brand has a podcast on there that's been there for a minute.
I almost said it. I was like, what? No, I'm stupid.
I heard that.
I know. I was hoping it was going the other way. Now shut up.
You say, you know when you're in the club and you're talking loud and that the music stops and everybody hears it. That's the pocket you fit in right there.
Everybody's all loud. You're like the one with the big teeth.
Everyone's wearing a black shirt. I'm wearing a white shirt.
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, no, the first 2 episodes were dope. The first episode was like, I like the way they tied it together because the episode is called "How Do You Inspire," but it was really it's a really dark episode because it starts with them talking about Amy Winehouse and Robin Williams, and it's like, how do you inspire someone to want to stay alive when they don't want to anymore? And that's the first episode. Like, and it's
that's crazy.
It was good. That's the thing.
That's actually a deep sentence because I don't know if you can just narrow it. You can simplify it to them not wanting to live. I think they each demonstrated the fact that they wanted to live. Anyway, yeah. See,
that's a deep episode.
I want to listen to the podcast.
Deep episode. I'm telling you, I listened to it. Yo, sign up. It's free right now. It's you get 7-day trial, and even that How Do You Inspire episode's already free. Like you don't even have to sign up for the 7-day trial.
Yeah, I have Stitcher Premium, which is useful because I use it a lot. Yeah. Like I have a bunch of podcasts that are behind that paywall, but
yeah,
when your money starts going to different apps, it annoys me.
I am waiting for someone to start realizing if I bundle things together, I can sell these as bundles. So whoever Stitcher gets, because Stitcher got sold to somebody recently. I don't remember who.
Yeah, they just changed their look actually too.
Yeah. So whoever Stitcher got sold to, if you are connected to one of the streamers or have an agreement with one of the streamers, can someone please put a deal in place to?
Oh my God, Sirius XM bought Stitcher.
There you go. There you go. So when I get my SiriusXM satellite radio package, I get all the Stitcher Premium podcasts for free. Done. You bundled me. I'm in. I don't really want to listen to Howard Stern's archive, but maybe I will.
SiriusXM bought Stitcher. Well, interesting.
Yeah, man.
Actually, wow.
It's big money. When you start seeing Spotify buying up all these podcast people and you see Apple buying up stuff, you start going, well, something's obviously happening. So let's just put our flag on one of the most. Stitcher, you're available. How much? Yeah, okay. Well, there, we're taken care of now. When the podcast war really kicks in and people start really fighting over this shit, we'll figure it out.
There are a ton of good podcasts on Stitcher too.
Yes. And the paywall gives you the option to go back to archive stuff, right? Like, how did this get made? You can go back to pretty much the beginning, from what I understand.
And like when they do live tours and stuff for their comedy shows or their podcasts, it goes directly into Stitcher Premium, and you can just have access to it too. So like, it's cool. You get to be a part of those experiences too when they go to a live audience.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean that there's something to be said about the culture. The I'm not against paywalls per se. I think my issue with what Joe did is you have a consistent formula. Like if we did this show every week and the people that trust us and like our show and are fans of our show and the content that we put out, all of a sudden we just paywalled it. Just from one week to the next, you just paywall your content, all your content. Then
I mean, that would be egotistical as fuck if we thought we could do that. But yeah, that would be jarring. You got to prep your audience for stuff.
Exactly.
Like
That's my thing, dude. Sometimes when they switch servers for their podcast, they start prepping the audience weeks in advance, telling them your RSS feed might change. Be aware. Be prepared. I remember when How Did This Get Made did it. I remember when what's ID 10 whatever idiots. What's his name? Chris.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Chris Hardwick. When Chris Hardwick's podcast switched over, multiple episodes in a week. In a row. They kept
Nerdist, right?
Nerdist, that's it. Thank you.
What happened to Chris Hardwick, actually? I know there was some scandal.
Cleared up.
Might have been Me Too movement scandal, right? Was it?
He got accused by an ex. She didn't call him by his name, but everyone knew who
assumed
her ex was. Not even assumed. They knew. Like, everyone knew because given the timeline that, like, it's like if I said, the ex I was dating between 2010 and 2012 did this to me. It's like,
right,
girl, your social media is showing us who you dated and said, what are you doing?
Right.
But she didn't want to say the name. She made the accusations public, but she didn't say his name. It turned into kind of a back and forth
legal battle.
Not even legal. It never actually went legal. And that was one of the things that I think that was one of the first examples of someone saying, not him, Chris never said anything, but a lot of people saying, if the accusation is there, you have to, making the actual accusation is better than pointing it out publicly and then not making the accusation. Because by putting it out publicly and not making the accusation, Chris never got to defend himself because technically he wasn't named. But everyone knew it was him, so he started losing jobs. He got pulled He got pulled from the Talking Dead. He got pulled from panels at
He got pulled from a lot of things. His podcast went down. Yeah. His Nerdist was doing insanely well. Also, at the time, which sucks.
And don't get me wrong, the person accusing him doesn't have to accuse him, but I do find it weird that if you essentially point the arrow, but not like you point the arrow at the person, but don't name the person. Like I said, I mean, maybe that was the intention because it does more harm. Like, because it ended up harming Chris because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
No actual official accusation. So he's just accused.
That is a weird spot to be in. I'd rather be fully accused than have to defend myself.
Yeah, the court of public opinion doesn't care about the law. So when it came down to it, they were just able to say, well, we believe you did this, so that's good enough. And everyone had to pull everything. And then by the time it was done, and they were just like, we did the investigation. We didn't find that he needed to lose his position or blah, blah, blah. And they put him back and stuff.
At that point, it was late.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's tough.
If Chris actually was a horrible person, may he burn in hell. If he's not an actual... But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. There's no official conversation, so I can't. I'm saying if because
we can go off of what we know right now without saying if too though. Like right now, if it obviously he's not accused of anything. It sucks that he's lost his roles and his jobs, opportunities. But then if it comes out later, we can always backtrack. That's fine. That's good.
I prefer Doc's approach.
Saying cover your bases now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my thing is, in the movement where people are saying believe the victims, I want to believe the victims. Yeah. I just think if you're a victim and I understand that there's a huge stigma behind being a victim, and there's a huge stigma in which you don't necessarily feel comfortable coming forward because there've been years and years and decades of people accusing and them being silenced. So I understand why there's trepidation with like, well, I don't want to point the finger because I face more criticism and scrutiny if I point the finger. but also
Yeah.
pointing the finger and then not actually pointing the finger. I don't understand how that helps. That's where I'm confused about how it benefits the system, how it benefits addressing the problem. That's the part I don't understand. But I mean, at the end, like
staying on the same note as these kind of Me Too movement scandals and stuff like that. Did you ever watch the documentary of The Vow or the Nexium? You know, the group that Allison Mack was a part of.
No, there's a doc on that. Where?
Yes.
Dude, there's the Vow. I don't know if it's HBO or Netflix. And then there's also another one on Amazon or Stars called Seduced. And it's the Nexium stuff. It's called Seduced, and it's like it focuses on one of the women that was a part of this, that was kind of drawn into this cult, and she's the daughter of Catherine Oxenberg, who was you ever watch Dynasty back in the day?
Yeah.
She was huge back then. She was like the blonde. I forget. Okay. I didn't really watch Dynasty, but she was on the show. She was one of the main characters. She and a lot of Hollywood folks are always looking for these self-help conferences and stuff like that, right? So, you know, to help them be better or stand out, you know what I mean? They're always looking for, they're always seeking and searching. Yeah. And she went to this group that some other actress or actors actually referred her to called ESP. I forget what that stands for now, but it's kind of like, you know, it started out as this nice self-help thing, but that's what most cults do, right? There's like a process of indoctrination. It always looks harmless and feels like family and everyone's so happy here. And like, wow, I've never experienced, you know, like they draw you in with all that flashiness, like, and then it turned out to be like this crazy sex cult. Like he had masters and slaves and he had like a harem of like women. Dude, it's wow. Crazy.
And I think especially when you're in Hollywood and you can't tell if anyone's real, and then you join this cult and everyone is really good at acting real.
Mm-hmm. And like the thing is that the guy who orchestrated the whole thing, Keith Raniere, he like back in the day was this like failed entrepreneur. He had a lot of pyramid schemes, right? He was known as the pyramid scheme guy. And then I think early 80s or 90s or late 90s, there was like a big boom of like self-help gurus, you know, like the Tony Robbins, like there were like those kinds of people started being sought after, right? So he saw an opportunity there to create his own form of self-help, but try to, you know, and he kind of made it in a pyramid scheme kind of way where like the people in those groups, when you recruit people, you get paid kind of situation. And it's crazy the people that are actually a part of this, like the two daughters of like the billionaire owner of Seagram's, you know, the alcohol company.
Oh yeah.
They were pretty much bankrolling him. He somehow got to them, and they spent somewhere around $200 million on this guy's like cult ventures. Yeah, dude, it's deep. And then to see how Kristen Crook comes in and Allison Mack and like there's a couple, Grace Park from Battlestar Galactica. At some point, there's a bunch of these people that were involved.
Kristen Crook too.
Kristen Crook apparently was the one who invited Allison Mack.
Yeah, but she didn't stay. Yeah, she didn't stay, and Grace Park didn't stay.
I think she left maybe like 3-4 years before like everything. She might have started hearing things.
Yes, that's what it is. Because they were in the self-help part where they were just like, you know, oh, this like helps with the ego boost. I feel better about myself. I'm a fucking star. Look at me. And then all of a sudden it's just like, I can have wait, what?
Like he did it so well that he hid this like sub cult like, within this self-help group. He kind of like used that to recruit, you know what I mean? Like look for the weak ones in the self-help. You know, and by weak I don't mean these people are weak, just like some people are more vulnerable than others.
More manipulative
with her freak nasty.
Exactly. You could tell people who like are genuinely seeking, like he pretty much took advantage of the seekers, like at the end of the day, not the ones that were looking to get strong. He didn't want the strong ones. He wanted the weak ones.
you know what's really messed up? The girl from Battlestar Galactica, Kaylee, the like little mousy engineering.
Nikki Klein,
whatever her name is. She's part of the cult, and she's one of the ones that's still fighting for him. Yeah. And when you see the character she played on Battlestar Galactica, and you hear that she's part of it, you're like, shit, that tracks. That girl was
dude. It's true. That one makes a bit more sense if the character is true to life.
Yeah, I feel bad saying it, but when you watch her play that character, you're just like, yeah, I can see that shit happening.
Yeah, that's you.
Like when you watch it though, it took me a while. Like I had a hard time believing that Allison, you know what I mean? Like, just because of the character she played, you always forget like there is a person behind that, and she's just as bad, if not worse, than he is. Right? In the sense that like she must have known there was a problem, like with what you're doing, right? Like you're asking these quote unquote slaves reviewers to take these nude photos, take photos of their private parts, and like, you know what I mean?
Do you think it's that she didn't have enough clout on Smallville or in Hollywood, and this is how if like
you're saying because she was a B-list character that she went to this it's what drove her to this?
Dave,
it's possible.
Not crazy.
It's
If you
possible.
remember,
if it is, then even more shame on her because you still.
The thing is, once you get power over people, you'd be surprised. You know that the whole phrase "absolute power corrupts absolutely."
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the money; it's the feeling that comes with having power over people's actions.
This is why I keep saying third bill on the call list. That's where I want to be because
if you get the second, you have the curse of maybe starting your own fucking cult.
No, I'm just saying, this girl was somewhere in the top 5 and was not happy with it, and this is what it turned.
You know, Brian ain't off because check the black kid from Smallville. Like he had a couple seasons, he bounced, he went and had a family off season, came back on some visitor shit. Like true. Allison Mack
you're in and out, and you don't necessarily like get sucked into that fame part of Hollywood.
But
right?
you know who got screwed over? Michael Rosenbaum.
Ooh, yeah.
Every show he touched afterwards turned into a flop.
Yeah,
Tom Welling, what's his name? Everything he went into afterwards, it was kind of like he had to.
You get typecast, right?
No, but he didn't do anything.
When you play characters that significant, like Smallville, I don't care who you are, what you say, that was the shit. That was CW. That's probably the best CW's ever been.
One of agreed.
Yes,
but he didn't do anything after that show.
Well, he's done a few things. He's been on Lucifer.
He was in movies.
He's done movies.
He actually was in movies, like Cheaper by the Dozen.
I was about to say Cheaper by the Dozen is your only thing, and that's when he was on the show still. You can't say that.
Wasn't he in The Mist?
Or The Mist. The
Mist, right? Something like that.
One of them.
Okay, yeah. Like, let's be honest here. You're saying he's in The Mist. The Mist. Use a fucking.
He did stuff, right? Out of all of them, what's funny is out of all of them, Kristen Crook is the one that did the most.
She's had consistent shows. She did Beauty and the Beast on the CW. She did another show that is only just ending now. She ended up getting what she actually wanted from the cult, the confidence.
Exactly. Honestly, and she said it. She actually like she sticks to her guns too on that, right?
Yeah,
Kristen Crook was part of the cult as well.
Not the cult.
Part of the cult. Yeah, exactly.
She was part of the self-help group,
which a lot of people labeled as a cult though, too, right? Because a lot of these places are they really like they go on fuel. They go on people's like energy. So it becomes a cult, even the self-help part in a way, right?
Yes.
Like you go on these retreats. It's like this weird assembly of people.
If you're an actor in Vancouver who's trying to get that confidence boost, I'm not going to be mad at Kristen for being like, I could use a confidence boost, and then her ass going and starring on multiple shows after that.
Confidence boost. You were on a relatively, especially at the time, a good TV show. You were Lois Lane, not like this Mackie girl who's like clearly like obsessed about not being number one.
No, she was Lana Lang.
Whatever.
No.
Yeah, I know. I don't give a shit about Superman lore. I mean, anyways.
Especially
not all LL named women are the same.
Especially when Erica Durance played, Lois Lane.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
That was badass. It was at first I didn't like it because you got really attached to the Clark and Lana story.
Yes.
But then she knocked it out.
She did.
Man, that whole Lana storyline with Lex and like, oh man, that was crazy. That was a good show, man. Michael Rosenbaum, man.
Yo,
I feel like that's more of a chance that's the reason why Mackie turned though. That she was second string woman on the show. She wasn't cute enough, so
she became that because Chloe was dating Clark to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Lois came and swiped her out, and then she got like these weird powers and started dating like poor man's Green Arrow who used a crossbow. It didn't make sense. It made no sense. Now that dude's on This Is Us, and she's still doing nothing.
Which is done, by the way.
Who's on This Is Us?
Green Arrow, fake man.
Green Arrow.
Poor man.
Oh, right.
Justin what?
Justin
Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's it.
Justin,
something along those lines.
good enough. Which
I actually liked his Arrow. Remember the
Really?
he was supposed to be Arrow, right?
he was Arrow.
Well, he was,
But as in
then-
like having his own. Oh, Aquaman.
yeah,
That's what it was. He
Yeah.
was supposed to be Aquaman, wasn't he?
Yes, he did the pilot for the Aquaman series.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
but then
Why?
yeah, 'cause reasons.
But
That's crazy.
so shout out.
Kristen Crook has Jamaican. She does. I don't see
mean,
it, and she definitely never
DJ
mentioned.
Yeah, what? Where?
Okay, hold on. Pause.
That makes her even more because she was.
Lee J, if you're gonna say something like that, give us a source. I'm not gonna just start
Drop
her
that.
grandmother was Jamaican.
Hey, but you put it up, so you must believe it to some
I didn't
degree.
put anything up. That was Toby.
I clicked.
Toby out here putting up random rumors. I'm like, I didn't put it up for a reason, Toby.
Let's check out her background.
Unless we can find out that Kristen Crook actually has Jamaican in the bloodline.
Oh, no,
I
yeah.
actually didn't see this.
She's
It
right,
says,
though.
from what I remember, you didn't just make this up.
Her
No?
mother is Chinese, and her maternal grandmother was Chinese Jamaican.
Okay, so she's like 3 times. She's like 3 times removed. Maybe
Hey,
more.
but still, she could probably like strips at you real hard and make you feel sexy. I don't
Okay,
know.
I respect. Lee J, your
That's
knowledge, your random, this person has Jamaican ancestry knowledge. Applaud.
That's you, DJ.
All the way. I like
that's it for my yeah.
if there's ever a trivia night, and
I know
this
it.
question comes up.
I know.
Thank you, Vijay.
2 points to Lee J for getting us the free pint of beer at the end of the night with that one. Which Smallville actor had Jamaican descendants? It's like,
I
what?
would be racking my brain the whole time. Like, who?
I would think it's Pete because he's the only black one. I
Right?
wouldn't
All right.
assume. I wouldn't
This
assume.
one, this one for 500. Which Smallville actress actually reminds you of an old Nickelodeon show and is probably less famous than said Nickelodeon show? I'll take Alexander Max.
Yeah.
500. Get the fuck out of here, guys.
God.
Yeah. Okay, so just to put a little nail on it,
Oh
the
yeah.
guy in the call, he's been sentenced to like 120 years,
Yeah.
and she's I think awaiting sentencing right now.
she's
I think
going
she's
to
under
jail?
house arrest.
Yeah.
She might be going to jail, man. Yeah,
Damn.
dude,
That's wild.
watch the documentaries.
I need to find them
It's
tonight.
insane.
That's
It's
what I'm gonna
insane.
do.
Yeah.
We didn't bring this. We were supposed to bring this up at the top. We didn't get a chance to, but I wanted to say, Happy International Nurses Day. I know Dave wrote it down. Dave, if I'm not mistaken, on your end, your partner is a nurse,
Yep.
right? My partner is a nurse. My mom's a nurse. A lot of my friends, Skinny, you know, some of our friends, we share our nurses. So we would just want to dedicate this to the nurses. We want to thank you guys once again for all the nurses out there that have been holding it down during this pandemic. It has not been easy. It is not. We know it is not. And every day that you go out there and work your asses off to help save lives, and every single person out there that kind of spits in the face of what y'all are doing by saying they don't want to wear masks and stuff, we want to tell those people, please sit down, please be quiet.
That's right.
I want to say a lot more harsh words, but because I'm dedicating this to my mother and all the other nurses, I'm going to be respectful the way she taught me. So I will ask you to sit this one out, and I will ask all the nurses to stand up, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for everything y'all are doing. Do you want to say anything specific, Dave, directly to your nurse?
Just keep it up. I know how hard it is. Like as Brian was saying, I can't really say much more. It's a hard job. I see the stress on you guys. So
yeah,
Godspeed. Hopefully this stuff will be past us sooner than later, and you all can take a break because you guys.
Yeah, yo, vacation. Let's get them. Let's get them the vacation, and let's get them the raise. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You and your
straight
crew,
up, not even playing.
Y'all are doing some. See, this is one of the things, because there's so much stuff going on in the world, and because the nurses are working so hard, it's really hard for them to try and ask for a raise, because they definitely obviously don't want to come across as in it for the money, but they still deserve the raise. They're still doing the work.
Like, they do hard work, man. Like they do work that I don't want to do. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say that. I've heard the stories. I
am not picking up human feces.
Right? That's all I'm saying.
Nurses sometimes have to do.
Yeah.
That already gets you way more than I would ever be willing to do. Yo, please just give them the money.
Yeah.
Just give them the money. because I know you, Lego, are not going to go start doing this.
Mm.
I know you're not doing it. So please just give them the damn money.
I completely
Give them
agree.
the damn money. You fucking crazy man. Okay.
Fucking crazy, man.
Out here
Anyways,
out here trying to give them a 1% increase over multiple. It's like, yo, are you crazy?
but speaking
Anyways.
of crazy, we got Carnage.
Oh,
Yes.
Show Carnage. Did you guys all saw the trailer?
I saw the
So let's talk
trailer.
about it.
I saw CGI.
Oh,
That's fine. I'm okay with CGI, especially in
bad
these. Especially in these.
All right. Should we
Oh, you
rephrase? We saw bad CGI. Is that what we're trying to say,
You
Skinny?
saw bad CGI for Carnage or Venom?
It wasn't bad.
I would say for
find it
Venom,
bad.
for compared to what we saw in the first movie and compared to what this trailer looked like. Now, don't get me wrong. One of my boys who works at one of those multitude of
Probably gonna
studios
say.
has told me that a lot of those trailers are not the final work.
Exactly.
Oh no, we
Yeah.
work on them things for like months after.
I know, but that's my thing. If you're gonna release a trailer, show me the trailer with the
Well, I
closest.
mean, Marvel. You forget though. Marvel has done this too. Like Thanos, you know how many iterations of Thanos we
Yeah.
saw till they settled
Hold
on.
on. Marvel didn't give us a trailer for a movie and put bad CGI in on an unfinished cut. They put fake CGI to trick us. That's different.
they were still bad.
Was it? Which Which
Yeah.
trailer are we talking about?
The first ones were like, man, but obviously when you saw it, no matter what, when you saw the first trailer versus what you saw in the theater,
I can't compare 2008 to 2021. Come on now.
I'm
Let's
calling
just- okay,
everybody
let's-
out
let's-
right now.
let's
Hold on. When
Okay.
y'all first saw Thanos, not one of y'all gave a fuck about that CGI.
Thank you.
Everybody
I
was losing
was-
their mind because it was Thanos. Stop it right
No,
now.
we were losing our mind because of what Marvel's done up until that
Yeah.
point.
No,
I
when
was
you
doing
saw
this
the
for
man
the
turn around, you
accomplishment.
lost
Yeah.
it. You weren't like, his face doesn't look as purple and grimace as it could be.
They
Now,
did
I
okay.
admit,
They did okay.
Now I admit when he came through with the okay, I guess I'll have to do it myself. Then it was kind of questionable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the first one, when you just saw his cheek, nigga,
And the
stop.
glint.
Yeah, but that was a
eye?
shade. That
They-
didn't
but
count.
they-
That's like
okay,
a
so
silhouette. That
I
don't
don't think.
count.
Okay, I don't think we can compare.
You
I
saw
don't
his
think-
face, but it wasn't like right on perfect. It's like no. It's like
I don't
taking a
think we can
picture with a
compare at this
freaking
point.
Polaroid
Okay,
and
Marvel,
a camera. Like, what the
Marvel was
hell?
taking test runs, like with all the cutscenes with Thanos in it. They were almost like testing out different visuals.
Just using us as guinea
They're-
pigs. You like that one?
That's exactly what they were doing, and then they finally settled on one at the end, which
I
they made it
okay,
excellent.
so thick.
Back to Venom though and Carnage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I watched that trailer, and all I could think was, why does the Venom symbiote look all like matted? It doesn't look as good. And don't get me wrong, I didn't really love it when I saw it in the first movie, but I was actually like, by the end of the movie, I was just like, I'm not mad at this. You guys actually
I'm
made
mad
this
at
kind
the
of
voice still, man.
No,
The
the voice
voice-
is worse this time.
It
Yes,
sounds
I agree.
exact. I don't even know what it sounds like.
I don't know what Tom's
It's-
doing with
I
that.
found it sound worse.
No,
Yeah,
Tom.
I found it
Tom
sounded worse.
is the one who does the voice.
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah.
No.
He
For
does
real?
his own- yeah,
Pretty
he,
sure.
he does the voice of it. Yeah.
Wait,
Pretty
hold
sure.
on.
You can go check on IMDb. I don't think there's Venom voice actors.
Venom done by Cumberbatch.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would say so. I wouldn't
Some
be shocked if we
distinguished
didn't have a
actor.
Venom voice
you know,
It says it is
it's
him.
Max.
Some distinguished Juilliard actors acting as Venom.
So that voiceover is Tom. Yo, someone
Yeah.
needs to show Tom the
Yeah.
tape from the first movie and be like, Tom, do this again. And Tom's
you
just
think-
like,
No,
No. The big question here is: do you guys think they're gonna correct symbiote to symbiote? You
yes,
think
of
we're
course.
gonna
That's already been done. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that.
You think
To go-
so?
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure. To say about Tom and the voice, he was trying to mimic Andre. Is it Andre Agassi? Whoever's singing that song. He's trying to do that singing voice, but also in the Venom voice while it's cooking breakfast.
Okay,
That's why it sounds so doo doo.
I'm gonna tell you what he said his inspirations are, and I don't
Oh,
really
no.
rely. I don't know what this.
oh no.
Like we might have to look. We might have to look into it further.
I'm looking for. Okay, hold on. Everybody, this is a moment from the mind of Tom.
I can't. No, this can't be real. This can't
Take
be
a
real.
take a deep breath.
But I'm
Toby,
gonna say it anyway.
Toby, can you put on a little like classic Shakespearean inflection? A little. Yes, here we go. Okay, this is good.
Tom shared his vocal inspiration for Venom. And he said it was Redman, Busta Rhymes, and James Brown.
Fuck out of here.
Wait,
Get the fuck
I swear to God,
No,
that's what he
I don't
says
believe
right
you.
now.
I don't believe it.
According to an interview with EW, Entertainment Weekly. Now,
That is
we might have to look into this a little bit deeper, but that's what I see in front of me here, which
did
is
he only hear
crazy.
one Busta Rhymes and Redman song?
Okay.
Probably.
So like he's putting on like fucking.
I could
I don't know their songs well enough to put a good song to like when you practice.
I could see the Busta Rhymes.
Mhm.
I could see it. When you think about Busta Rhymes, early Busta Rhymes with the like wild face and expression,
Yeah.
And, like breaking
like,
type shit.
I could see that as the inspiration for how Venom talks in the first movie with the kind of crazy inflection and delivery. But this trailer did not sound like that same delivery. That's the thing.
Like a bad Cookie Monster.
Yes.
I called that out from the first movie, but I was like,
Bad
it passed in the
Cookie
first
Monster.
movie, but in this trailer, it's exceptionally
That might be the
worse.
title.
Pretty bad.
Sounding like a
Bad Cookie Monster.
But that's what it exactly. But apparently, it's his voice and someone else doing the exact They pretty much meshed two people's impressions together to really get that voice.
Oh,
It's him and
So
some
they're
Brad
failing.
some other actor.
nice. I like when they fail together. Failing as a
Yeah.
team.
I love it when they fail together. Oh shit. Oh man.
That's
wow.
what this is, man. Because we watched that trailer. And not one of us in that group chat when we sent it said, "Wow, I can't wait to see this." Did any of us?
none of us did. No.
I don't remember any of us saying, "I can't wait." We saw the trailer, and all we said was, "Man, we should review this." And then we're like, "Nah."
Hey,
Okay, outside of the voice, because we got stuck on that, I am genuinely excited to see it though, because I was surprised that I kind of liked the first one.
I kind of
It
like the first one too.
it was in my fun watch category. It was like a 5 to 6.
It's
that
enjoyable.
range. Yeah,
The
exactly.
first one's enjoyable. It's just that
Yeah.
it's hard to
That
it's hard to call it a Venom movie. That's my only problem.
It's a weird dark comedy now, right? It's like a buddy
Yeah.
cop.
See,
Because
okay, that's perfect. If you go into the movie not taking it seriously and thinking of it as a symbiote and a human buddy cop movie, and you just laugh at the insanity, you won't actually hate the movie. But if you went in originally like I did as a Marvel fan, saying already disappointed that Spider-Man's not going to be in it, and being like, okay, let's try and give this a chance, and you watch the movie and the movie's hella fucked up, you're like, what is happening with this film? And then you get to the ending and you're just like, why Riz Ahmed, why did you let them do this to you in this movie?
Oh yeah. See, it does fall apart in quite a few areas for sure. Like the villain was whack. The villain was whack.
Carnage
so
just
bad.
looks like
Real
a
whack.
red version of him.
Yes.
Not even the
essentially
CGI. Not even the CGI villain.
That's essentially what
Riz Ahmed's
Carnage
villain was
is.
bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no.
Skinnier, but
Way skinnier. He's not supposed to be that beefy. I saw a beefy dude with tentacles.
Yeah, you saw it for 2 seconds. Who knows? Like, let's
No.
goes.
To me, the nigga looked like Toxic, and he didn't look like Carnage. And I know symbiote, so I'm gonna nerd out here.
No, he didn't look like Carnage.
Yeah, he looked like Toxin. Sorry.
Skinny, hit us with the nerd out, because as someone who didn't read any of the Venom or Absolute Carnage or any of those titles that they might be pulling from,
Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and was just like, okay, Cletus, cool.
Yeah.
He's mental. Let's see what this can do with the symbiote on him.
I like the
cool.
actor
Maximum
choice. I
Carnage
like the
for
actor choice for Carnage though.
Yeah.
I didn't like the voice clip that they gave in the movie specifically. I was like,
Woody Harrelson.
I was like, it didn't do the commercial effect that it didn't do the commercial effect that I think they were going for. I was like, okay, like whatever. Like, I hope you say something more dope in the movie, because if this is your line,
okay,
that was my.
See, that's it.
All right.
I can't nerd out hard enough when it comes to this stuff, because I genuinely did not read, other than watching the 93 Spider-Man cartoon with the Venom story and loving that iteration of it.
Right.
So good.
Do you think they're gonna go deep into the Maximum Carnage?
Yeah,
because
Shriek's in there. They're doing it. They introduced the girl for a reason.
But is this a Venom movie or a Carnage movie? It feels like this is where they could really lose, that balance.
If they're
Like
wilding out,
going too hard into a backstory for Carnage could detract from.
Well, if anything, I think even the first movie, you could argue that it's not necessarily a Venom movie as much as it's a symbiote movie.
Yeah.
So if this is another symbiote movie,
Okay.
and then if the next one leads to them having the multiple symbiotes and having a war, it would make sense for them to divide it like that.
Yeah.
Because the one thing is that you can't, like the first movie, my argument is you can't call it a Venom movie because there is no Spider-Man. By definition, if there's no Spider-Man, there kind of isn't any Venom. And now let's not go down that rabbit hole. We don't need to do
No,
that.
I know.
I see
No, I
y'all.
agree
I
with
see
you,
y'all
but
getting your hands down on your holsters.
No,
and
no,
shit.
no,
No,
Calm
no,
down.
no.
I agree with you. It's just people get mad at me when I say that, so I stopped saying it.
No. It's not a Venom movie.
Okay, but there were Spider-Man in the trailer.
Yeah.
Where? Where?
Okay.
Toby? Where was Tom
You know what?
Holland talking,
Hold on,
doing
time out.
something?
There was
Anything.
Spider-Man. There was Spider-Man references.
Oh, well, that's nice. There was Venom references in the first one. I just finished calling it not a
The
Venom
first one
movie.
was when they were squashing the spider, which could mean one of two things: either Carnage is aware that there's a Spider-Man and he just really hates spiders now because of that, or they're just saying we're closing the book on Spider-Man references here. Or like,
think we're gonna-
Spider-Man-
I think
or
it's
they're
that
showing
one.
any type of moment where like I can
But
crush you just like this bug. I
we
mean,
also
that
saw
does
the
not matter.
Daily Bugle in there.
Yeah.
Nah, don't give me a building.
Come on.
What?
He's the only thing you confirm with that is that he's in the New York of the Marvel universe that has Daily Bugle. That doesn't
He's
give
in
me
the-
shit.
Wait, what?
Where's he
That's
taking a
who Tom
picture?
works.
Show
That's
me
who-
taking a picture.
He's
Hold on,
in
wait,
the
no.
New York of the Marvel universe.
The Daily Bugle is who Eddie works for, but just in San Francisco.
I was
No,
gonna say
he doesn't work for the Daily Bugle now.
Yeah.
no, right?
No,
Didn't it end with him not working for them?
Yeah, he got fired
Yeah, he
from
got
some
fired at the
whatever
end,
place
yeah.
he was working for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if he might start working for them now, but okay.
maybe.
Like
That's
if he
fine.
starts working for him and then you see Parker
But doesn't
somewhere
he
there,
live in?
man,
He
that's
lives in San. He
solid.
lives in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
He's not in New York because he
He's in
still
San
sees
Francisco.
Mrs. Chen,
Yeah, he's in San Francisco.
who's supposedly his. She's cool
But in
with
the first
Venom
movie,
being
did they
in the-
specify which place they lived in?
Did they specify where Ravencroft is?
Did they specify? Yeah, did they specify? I don't think so.
Interesting point.
In
I
the
mean,
first movie, they didn't specify where they were living.
Yes, they did. San
Yeah,
Francisco.
Did they?
It's West Coast. This is taking.
See, I didn't even pull this, but if that's the case,
Yeah, Daily Bugle says Avengers on it, bro. Yeah,
All right.
you
they're
can't. You
doing.
can't.
Listen,
I give it the same universe. I don't give it a Spy-Man reference.
it's not a, I don't even,
If I'm gonna hate, I'm gonna hate to the end.
I'm not gonna say it's a Spider-Man reference, but I will say that I agree with Toby's closing the book on this Spider-Man thing because really and truly, guys, if you're Sony and you know that your main Spider guy is tied up with Marvel, as much as you want to pull him away, nigga, you know that's a dumb idea. So you're gonna let him play over.
They attempted it and it didn't
Let
work
him play
out.
over there, collect your money. But who's your other big
Yeah.
Spider dude? Scarlet Spider?
No, you're
No,
right.
shut the fuck up. You're gonna use Venom. You're gonna
You're
use Venom. You're
Yeah.
gonna try to do Lethal Protector as much as you can without using Spider-Man. You're gonna
Yeah.
try and get as close to maximum carnage as you can without using Spider-Man. But eventually, you'll use Spider-Man. It's just when that time comes, it'll probably be like Carnage
Too
being
late.
the main villain of Shush. Yes, too late. It'll definitely be too late, but it'll probably be like Carnage being the main villain of like a what was that second run he did where he hypnotized everybody and made like people the Marvel universe kind of like nuts and everybody was like a part of the Carnage symbiote.
Oh, that was isn't it?
You know what it is.
Sim
Absolute
City-
Carnage.
something Island.
Yes, yeah, something Carnage Island or something along those lines. But
Or
they
was,
might-
no, that was Spider Island. No,
that
No,
was
that's
Spider
different.
Island. Yes, different
Well,
thing.
here, hold on.
Yeah. Toby's got it. But it's when Carnage kind of has this look on him.
For anyone who's listening, reaching over to the
His face has this.
yeah.
it's
Look on
it's
him.
the Carnage where his face is almost fully black, but his body's still red.
Also, a Carnage reference. Where's the black on him? What they come on, guys. There's no this and
Yeah,
yeah, he did not my Carnage. Sorry.
It's not.
I-
he's
I
not your Carnage, and he's nobody's Venom. That's why this is not a Venom movie.
Yeah.
A Venom movie, as much as it's gonna be coming from a world
It's a
where Spider-Man is loking around with the Avengers on the
It's
other
symbiote
side of the
movie.
world.
It's symbiote movie.
They could just do the symbiote reverse. They could find Eddie and okay, check this out. They could find Eddie's and Peter's rivalry coming from Eddie and Peter finally meeting, and Eddie's symbiote just being like, "I like this nigga better," and going with him. For a second.
That's deep. That's
Whoa.
deep.
And then they
after
fight,
their established
that would-
relationship.
And then Peter rejects him, and he goes back.
Yeah,
Oh, and then
Yeah,
it's
and then
about them
Venom really
fighting-
hates him. Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
that's
You
a
think-
long build, but it's a build.
I mean,
if they do that,
listen,
I will give you $10.
Listen,
if they do that, I will give you $10.
This is Sony. This is Sony we're talking about.
Skinny's
here,
right. We should pay for Skinny's tickets to all Avengers, all Marvel.
If this somehow happens, I'm down. I will do that.
I know
because it goes Marvel, Sony, DC for me. So I know
that's hilarious.
That's how it goes for me too. I can tolerate this because I know they're working with Marvel. So I'm like, all right, I'll let you guys slide. But they could easily do that right after. Just have Eddie meet up with Spider-Man. Hey, you kind of helped me when this shit got all crazy, and then he kind of goes like, "Where's the symbiote?" And it's tagging along on Peter's foot. End movie, done.
Jesus, holy fuck, that'd be crazy. That would be
no way it's gonna happen.
No, not like that. But in a way, guys, if you hear me, whoever's listening, who's been making money off me, send me something. Please, a little something, please. I gave you Moon Knight.
Yeah,
I gave you Moon.
I think my favorite call that we ever made was the time we talked about Punisher, and then the next day,
Punisher. Where's my check, though?
Yeah, like, come on now. It's like, this was so obvious that this was going to happen, and y'all did. Yeah. Anyways,
can we just
it might be Absolute Carnage you're referring to before. I'm having a hard time finding it, but anyway.
I think we have a few things to talk about in View the Right Thing. Well, we only have two: Jupiter's Legacy and The Mitchells versus the Machine, both Netflix. I had Dad stop embarrassing me with Jamie, but
I skip a lot of these shows, bro.
I watched that one. That was weird. I don't like. Is that new or is that old?
When did that Jamie Foxx going back to TV?
Yeah.
Well, it was just Jamie having money and being like, I started off in a sitcom. I liked doing a sitcom. I want to take a stab at a sitcom again.
And I want to tell the story of my daughter growing up with me.
Yeah. So if you guys want a funny yet somewhat odd TBS style sitcom with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, you're actually saying it's funny.
I mean, there are funny scenes. It's like Medea style funny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like Medea, but there's.
Hold on. The Jamie Foxx show was before Medea, right?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but did Jamie Foxx do his funny characters when he was doing the Jamie Foxx show?
Yeah.
Was he doing? He did. I don't remember him.
Well, he does multiple characters in the show.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm
pretty sure he played characters on the Jamie Foxx show. But they were like one-offs, probably.
Real quick, do white sitcoms do this? Black sitcoms have a thing where the lead star of a sitcom will play a lot of random jokey characters. Like Martin Lawrence on Martin played tons of random characters. Jamie Foxx in this show plays tons of random characters. Family Matters had Steve Urkel playing multiple, Steve Urkel. No, he played Myrtle, the cousin. He played someone else.
All right,
they did a lot of that was a kind of trope in black sitcoms that the lead or the star would just play these female versions or random version or broke version or anyways. So in this show, Jamie does that. Jamie does a few of those. He plays his own uncle. He plays the preacher. He plays, so.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
If you want one or two out there.
TBS, if you want a TBS style sitcom on Netflix, because you're bored and you have something and you want to play video games and have something play in the background, it's not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm sorry. I feel like that was disrespectful to Jamie, but Jamie, it wasn't a good show. I'm not gonna lie to you.
In movies, I think we see that a lot more across the board. I think the question was in sitcoms, which I'm having a hard time even. Yeah, I can't think of one right now.
I can't think of sitcoms other than black sitcoms where that's a staple, where it's kind of a thing. But yeah,
it's not a bad thing. It just means they're more talented, I guess.
I was just explaining it. Hilarious.
Great.
Do we start with Jupiter's Legacy or Mitchell versus?
We'll probably spend more time on Jupiter's Legacy. Let's get Mitchell out of the way.
Okay.
I like Mitchell. I love
Mitchell.
It was very entertaining the whole way through.
Can I say one thing about Mitchell?
Mm-hmm.
The scene where who is it that lets go? Oh, the scene where the dad is going up the vertical elevator and is pushing the thing, and and Pal plays the video, and he gets heartbroken and lets go, and they figure out that it's them. And okay, I thought that was a better motivation and reaction than when Star-Lord got mad at Thanos.
Why?
And it was funny to me in that moment to think, wow, this random 2-bit movie from Sony Animation has a better motivation for someone's heartbreaking than Star-Lord's dumbass who's not able to put aside his pain for 2 seconds because the world.
2 seconds?
Yo, that's deep. I actually would agree. I would agree. Mainly because, yes, you're right. You're in a position where you guys are about to disarm this guy.
Yes.
No matter how you feel, that should yeah, for sure. I agree.
But when the dad had his heart broken and she's just like, I just said that. I'd tell him anything you wanted to hear. And you saw the dad's face, and I was like, damn, this nigga's heart.
I think I even made an audible ooh. I'm pretty sure I made
it was like
same here.
From The Simpsons. Fucking I can show you the moment when this nigga's heart breaks. I was like, for real. I was like,
if you look closely, you can see the moment his heart breaks. That's great. No, it surprised me a lot because I was expecting more goofy than funny, and it ended up being like a ton of both, actually.
You know what's kind of scary?
It never took itself seriously. You knew exactly what kind of movie it was trying to be from the beginning. The animation style, I loved it. Again, I love when you bring different things like that, you know.
But one thing that I thought kind of scary, like the whole way of how the machines come to like power is scary exactly how I thought it would go down. I'm like, they're going to create an AI and then they're going to create a better AI and that old one is going to get angry.
Yo, I even felt bad. Actually, you know what? The scene where Pal gets pissed off is the more when he just went on stage like, I love you, I got you, we're together, and then he announces the next one, throws her away. I was like, oh shit, that's deep. No wonder she's doing this. Or she might be, non-binary.
I thought they went evil specifically because of that moment. But then when they explain why they go evil, it's like, no, I've been annoyed with you for years. You've been poking, prodding, and disrespecting me with your dirty, filthy hands. Remember when they get the robot the nacho cheese and really get it into his? I was like, good God.
Oh yeah. No, it was exactly walking every line perfectly.
Yeah,
it was almost perfect. I honestly didn't have a moment where I thought anything was bad. Did you guys?
No. The little brother calling people to talk about dinosaurs is my favorite part.
That was great.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
about dinosaurs? No? Okay.
The voice too. The voice acting choice to not go with the kid voice was perfect.
Yeah, that was hard.
My God.
That shit killed me.
When he tells the girl, do you want to hang out with me? And then when she answers, he's just like, I kind of hate you right now and ran away. I was like,
They did that perfectly. That relationship was awesome. I was like, that is exactly every little boy. Like, that's exactly what happens.
When he jumps out the window. I thought that was wonderful. That was so good.
Great. It was good. The storyline was great. Characters were great. The 2 robots were perfect.
Oh yeah, the 2 good robots.
The stormtrooper defectors. The bad batch of them all.
Beck Bennett and Fred Armisen.
Yeah, they killed it,
which was great. Yeah, when they're in the dep or the store and they're just like, we're robots, we're gonna go get the humans, and the dad's like, wait, and she's like, no, wait, I want to see where this goes. That was. The fact that she like stops the dad and you can still see the robot feet underneath, just like going and then and reaching over for the red marker. So many gags that I'm just like, so
we look
solid.
Just like you with the red marker. It was so good.
We're angry now, and it does
when she's crying and he puts the one teardrop. Oh shout outs to the mom who went into Hulk mode, and shout outs to the sound people who put on the actual Hulk sounds from the original show. And when she goes full crazy, Oh my god, no, real talk.
And like you
Sony
accepted it. You're like, it is. You're like, at first you're like, oh wait, where'd she get all these fighting? And you're like, oh whatever.
Exactly.
It's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
Question to you
motherly
guys.
instinct, bro. Motherly instinct.
Exactly. You understood why.
Based, real quick. Based on the voice actress who portrayed the mother in the movie.
Yeah.
And being that the mother looked like she was of color, I guess.
Yeah.
Are
For
those
the
kids
actress,
mixed?
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's based off of like a Asian, a Filipino family, some Indian family or something.
Right? Yeah.
They showed
It's
you
Maya Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph. Yeah, it's Maya Rudolph who plays the mom. So, I mean,
And like I remember they were showing real families, and then they'd show you the CGI or cartoon version of them, right? So I think
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I just wondering.
I gotta say, I genuinely, this movie, I held out watching it because I was just like, this isn't gonna be all that good. And then I watched it and I was just like, I gotta admit this was fucking awesome, and I regret waiting because
I really want to wait.
like,
I think I mentioned this last week, right? And you said you watched it for this week. Yeah, that's true. No, it is. Honestly, it surprised me a lot. It really did. I thought it was just going to be, I'll just put it on and have it in the background and end up being like entranced.
Yeah. Like, yes, there were times where I was going to get up and walk away from watching it because I had to do something. And instead of my usual thing of like, just like pausing it, I would take my phone with me. Like I would go and keep watching because I was just like, I got to put the laundry in the dryer, but I don't want to pause this. Like, so that
Yo, Jay Grizz just likes jabbing. I swear to God. But he said, "Do you guys want to see another part of this, or was this enough like the Joker?"
It was enough like the Joker.
We don't need there doesn't need a part two.
No.
The reason for part one was perfect. You know?
Yeah.
Or the only part.
Yeah. Because at the end of the movie where they talk about how they're going to get the award and then they're going to drive to do it, I was worried that was them hinting to a sequel, but then they showed them already on the road trip, and I was like, perfect. Okay. Like you don't need to do a sequel to it. It's really good.
No, what are you gonna do? The same mistake? Like, oh no, Pal is like in the bottom of the ocean or some
like garbage
pile and then gets out.
Alien invasion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
Zombie apocalypse is the third. Like,
I see the Millers versus a lot. You know.
Oh shit! The Mitchells versus the aliens.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toby hit it on the head.
Shit.
If they do a sequel, it's gonna be the Mitchells. It's gonna be the Mitchells versus the aliens. That's exactly what.
Fine, Grizz.
They're a franchise family now. Mitchell's is going to be a thing. Yeah, sure.
I don't need to see it.
They were.
They made it. I'd watch.
Did you get the Incredibles jab in there?
No. What?
It's that you don't have to be incredible at some point in the movie.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that. Or I heard it, but I didn't make the connection.
Damn. Okay, shots fired. Speaking of failures, sorry. Justice. No, sorry. Not even Justice. Kingdom Come.
Wow.
No, sorry.
Oh, wow, you're gonna do that. Okay.
Jupiter's failure. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Me and the girlfriend wanted to watch this. And
I didn't even get to it, and I'm just like, I don't like it already. Wow.
Pluto's waste of time. Sorry. What was it called?
Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy. Thank you. That's the title. Okay. That failure.
That's how we're starting this.
Woo!
That copycat failure.
I was hoping we would come into this with like a different perspective on the superhero storytelling thing that we're used to, but I would love to hear why you think it's garbage.
So I'll start with this. With Netflix having done Umbrella Academy and Netflix having done what's the other one that they did? The superhero one. I had it the other day. Anyways, when Netflix is any of the other superhero shows that they've been doing, whether it be the Wings Club or anything that they've done.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing has looked that cheap.
Oh wow!
Okay. Can we talk about this? You're talking about the look of. Okay. All right.
Hold on. If you're gonna have Josh Duhamel come on and play an old man, make the fucking man grow a beard properly and dye that shit right. Don't go to the Saturday Night Live costume department with their fake mustaches that look like they're gonna peel off. You can see it when you turn to the side. You could see the glue sticking on the mustache. What was that?
I thought
You
this was called Jupiter's Legacy, not Rory
Dude.
and Mal.
Oh,
You have Vanya being a light god, like exploding light. You have what's the brother's name that can see the dead going into the afterlife world with the neon colors and everything looking nice. And then you give me Jupiter's Legacy. Oh, Lock and Key is the other show I was thinking of. You give me Lock and Key with all the different powers, and then you give me this. Dude, this felt like something the CW wouldn't have signed up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't know, kid.
Why did we let him start? Why did we let him start?
Toby, the man's mustache, the glue was so poorly done. You saw it lifting. You saw the mustache lift. Dude, I can't forgive when they get lazy with stuff like that.
That's poor editing.
No. How is that poor editing when someone didn't glue a mustache?
No, that's what I'm saying. You see that and you make them redo the scene with it proper.
That's poor directing. That's poor caution.
Can we even ever walk? Can we walk the audience back from this at all?
Sorry.
Anyway.
No. Too late now.
Nothing even
Too
makes
late
sense
now.
right now.
I'll
If you have some type of defense, Toby, you just got to sink or swim on this one.
I'll tell the audience this. As someone who's read the comic book and was really excited for what they were going to do, I was sorely disappointed in what they did with Brandon. The fact that they took Brandon in the comic book, Brandon and Chloe are both rebellious. And the fact that they rewrote Brandon to be a good little soldier, I was like, okay, I first episode, hated it. Second episode, and also, good God, like, speaking of Smallville, we talked about how good Smallville is, but it was an insult to watch someone try and recreate all the moments from Smallville on the farm with the shots of the farm with the little windmill being like, this is Americana. Get the fuck out of here with your fake, fake ass Smallville wannabe shit. Oh my God. Anyways, so Brandon out there shirtless, beating pillars into the ground. I was just like, okay, they're winning me over with this new version of the story where the code is God and Utopian believes in the code and everyone has to believe in the code, and that's how he leads. I was like, I didn't like it at first, but I was like, okay, you're winning me over with it. But the more they kept going, the more unforgiving Utopian seemed, the more annoying it was. The Utopian was willing to let a asteroid potentially go off course and hit the Earth and didn't bring Brandon because Brandon is on punishment. And that is some stupid shit. Like stuff like that. I was just like, this doesn't even make sense. The Utopian shouldn't be putting his son on punishment because his son had to. And also,
you know what this is a case of? Hold on, I feel like you could go on.
Hold on. Hold on. Once you realize,
it's not time, Toby. It's not time.
Realize that Brandon killed a clone.
I'm like in a trance.
You're so mad at him for killing a clone. I lose respect for you. He didn't even kill a real person. He didn't. He killed a clone.
Oh,
but he didn't know it was a clone, so it's wrong, nigga. It's a clone.
Wow.
It don't matter.
That's deep. Man.
Not the person.
Yo, but they had a hard time at Black Star. I kind of like that, man.
Okay. Hold on a second. Can we go back? Hold on. I want one question.
Yeah.
Oh, a question. Okay.
A question, right?
Yeah, hit me.
So, okay. One character was obviously off from what you're describing since you read the comic book, but everything else, like was the whole show off key to the actual book?
Yes. There's a lot of stuff that
Which
they
is
changed.
Fine.
Yeah, again, that's my thing. Toby and I have said it before. If you're going to do the story differently, you got to do it better. I didn't like the story they were doing in the first episode, but they sold me later on.
Okay.
But what I can't forgive is if you're going to do you're going to do the story differently. I would tell you, make sure you're not copying certain aspects from another major story that it's so similar to. Because remember when we had the conversation the first time about this, I told everybody the comic book is like Kingdom Come.
Right.
Then you watch the Netflix show and they literally stole the fucking story from Kingdom Come. Like they
the,
stole
the turning on. Yeah.
dude, the part about Brandon as Paragon and the killing and his relationship with Utopian is exactly the story from Kingdom Come with Magog versus Superman. And that whole reaction where Utopian gets mad because 70% of the United States thinks that 78%
He did the right thing.
thinks he did the right thing.
Right.
There's literally a panel in Kingdom Come where that exact thing's happen, where they're all holding up signs saying Magog was right and all this stuff. And Superman's upset because he realizes the public has changed perception and they're for killing people. And he's like, I don't know if I can be a hero in this world anymore. And that, to me, that stuff bothered me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I totally understand your apprehension.
I have valid reasons. I didn't come in here just to bitch. I had valid reasons.
No, that it makes perfect sense. Now,
Toby, did you like this movie? This show, Toby?
Okay, so I'm along the same lines of watching it and visually realizing, oh, this is what I'm going to get.
Yeah,
it's not your typical quick flash superhero Dragon Ball Z that you're used to.
Fair.
I think it was intentionally done for you to actually see. The camera angles are different.
Yes.
Right? It's a little sharper. You actually see all the movement and all the drama. It's
down.
Right.
They slow down in fights, which
exactly.
is which
so I have to get myself in the mindset of like, oh, okay, technically they are moving fast.
Yes.
But to me, this is what they're showing me in terms of so I bought that.
Yeah.
I bought into that.
Actually. I'll give them points for that because it makes watching the fights fun because you actually get to see the fight.
Yeah, exactly. And the fight with Black Star to me was that much more engaging and felt that much more real because of how slowed down it was. And like you saw the effects of, the people getting killed.
I'll give them that. Yes.
So the costumes, I didn't have an issue with the costumes. I thought the costumes were well done, in my opinion. For the world we're in, I liked it. I enjoyed it. The storyline, you're right about the code. It didn't seem like something that wasn't flex. For how simple it is, it should have been flexible. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be a hill that you're willing to die on, like Utopia.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
The reason your son killed this person is because you were about to die.
He was about to nuke himself and nuke probably half the continent with him. Yeah. Right. So I would have been like, you know what? This was the wrong thing. Thank goodness it was a clone. But like this was the wrong thing to do and find a way around that. But we're supposed to believe that this is someone who, at this point in his life, he feels like if you don't have something to live by that is good, ultimately with the powers that they had to work for, they worked hard for those powers, by the way. The powers they had to work for, it could, again, absolutely corrupt you, which is why he put the code in place in the first place, right?
Fair. Yes.
So I think he also needs to adjust with the times, and we're supposed to believe that he's someone who hasn't. But I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that he was that blind.
Yes.
Right. That's the one thing.
That's the problem. That I think one of my major problems with it is exactly what you just said.
Yeah. It took him the whole season because at the end he does say, and spoiler alert, I guess at this point, guys, I'm sorry. But at the end, he does say, I need to listen more and I need to speak more. It's actually a line that he says. And I'm like, oh, it took you that long to realize this whole time that, you just need to listen to other people's perspective. And then with your perspective and theirs, come to a middle ground. You know what I mean? Versus this, a lot of this stuff would have been unnecessary. His brothers, Walt, I understood Walt's anger, but I feel like it's a little late in the game for this to happen. Walt should have been evil from the beginning.
Yes. And you read the comic book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that was one of the things that bothered me because they took out some of Walt's motivations and Walt's anger towards. They replaced, Walt the brother, Brainwave, is so angry in the comic because you see the economy, you see the world, you see everything falling apart, and he's just constantly like, we have the power to fix everything if we were just in charge. And that's where the Utopian's code comes in, and his code makes sense in that context of like, we are heroes. We're here to be hope and to inspire, but we're not here to lead.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
This version of the code where we do not kill at all, at any cost, no matter what, even if it's to save my own life. It's like, dude.
Are you talking about the shows? Because at the beginning in the show, when you do the flashback,
yeah,
to them actually after they acquire their powers and they're sitting in the round table, he does say that.
Yeah.
Like that's what the code is. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're right about the future state of the code. To me, I was like, wait, that's not even the same thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
So he himself somehow has changed the code to mean something because he thinks that highly of himself. And I guess that's, again, he's so self-absorbed. Maybe he himself, you know, he has an ego, right?
Yeah.
He has a huge ego that comes along with the fact that he has all the powers.
Yeah. And his relationship with the therapist, quote unquote, that you find out is actually
is a
one
villain.
of the villains that he's visiting in a supermax prison. I like that in the comic book, there's a more developed story as to why they have that relationship.
Yeah.
Like that guy breaks out of prison. That guy figures out how to steal their powers. He gives the powers to other people. It turns into a whole thing. And then when they finally do stop them, instead of like kill, because the person that's the other thing. The person who comes back to save them when they've lost their powers isn't even one of them. It's Fitz's kid. Remember Fitz that he left with his wife? In the comic book, Fitz is married, has kids, and his son that he has.
Yes, but isn't it Fitz's kid in the show?
Well, Fitz's kid in the show.
They're making it sound like, so that's where I got a little confused though.
Yeah,
because they're making it sound like it's George's kid in the show.
Oh, interesting.
The way they've been dropping hints, and he has the picture. He has George's picture up in his lab. You didn't notice that?
Oh no, I didn't even notice that.
But then you obviously you watch the show, you realize in the past. By the way, that wand thing is super dope.
Oh yes, the thing, the
Super
rod,
dope.
the power rod.
The power rod. What?
Yo, the power rod is almost
badass.
more badass in the show. Because
I wish it was like Thor's hammer where it comes to you. Because the fact that you have to go to it, it doesn't come to you.
Well, he can call it back in a way.
He can call it back.
Yeah,
because he had to have performed the act initially. If he loses it,
yes.
Yeah.
Because the Utopian takes it from him, and when he tries to call it back, he can't.
He can't.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because he said home and it doesn't leap. That's true. That was true. That was true.
But that's my biggest gripe with that. It's a super dope weapon. But anyway, in the past, you realize it is Fitz's rod. So I'm assuming.
No, that's Blue Bolt.
Oh,
Richard.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're right. So, yeah.
The original team is 6 people.
Yeah.
The show only focuses essentially on 4.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what happened to Blue Bolt. You don't see him whatsoever. He's gone. And Sky Fox is a criminal, and that's all you know about him. And I do wish that.
Sorry. They say it's Sky Fox's kid.
Yes, it is Sky Fox's kid. Yeah, Hutch.
But how come he's able to use the rod, which only responds to Blue Bolt?
That's something they don't explain.
That's why I feel like.
Yeah, technically in the comic book, Sky Fox makes the power rod for Hutch from a flashlight and something else.
Right, but in the show, he got it with his magical powers.
Yeah, in the show, at some point, he just has the power rod. And you're just, why does George's kid have the power rod?
Yeah.
For some of you who haven't watched the show, this is probably very confusing. But all this to say, the power rod is this thing that Blue Bolt has in the show. And you see him with it in a flashback. Fitz, the black guy who's in a wheelchair for some odd reason. Another thing I'm going to talk about in 2 seconds. He has I'm going to talk about Skinny. I'm going to talk about the fact that every time you put a black person on TV, you got to add another diversity. You can't put any of the other people.
Another diversity.
We
double up on them.
Yeah. We have 6. Did we
ever get an explanation as to why he's in the wheelchair? I can't remember right now.
But we got 6 heroes, one of which is black. And the only hero that's not white ends up in a wheelchair.
Get a 10. I'm already black.
But they give his daughter more of a spotlight because of it, though, right?
Daughter's awesome, and the daughter doesn't exist in the comic book.
Yeah, so
already
maybe that was a compromise.
I guess
You
so.
gotta take away his legs.
And yeah,
Jesus.
that has to be the title. You got to take away his legs.
You gotta take away his legs.
Oh shit! I never even went that. I didn't even think that. That's funny. That's hilarious.
I was
Give you two, but one can't walk.
Shit, fuck.
We'll give you two. Oh my god, yo, man!
You gotta be able to laugh about it.
That was the first thing, as someone who liked the comic. When I saw that they made the black guy Fitz, I was already worried because Fitz is the one that cheats on his wife, goes and bangs a 19-year-old. All this.
Well, they changed all that, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's in the wheelchair.
But that's what scared me, Toby, because I thought that's what they were gonna do. I was just like, you guys changed Fitz to the black guy so that he leaves his wife. I was like,
nah. They probably saw that. They probably saw how problematic that was.
oh yeah, but we still put him in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He needs to have some kind of plight. The Fitz in the book had a plight.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with someone the diversity.
You're saying you shouldn't have recast that character if that was the case.
If you want to do diversity, do diversity, but don't put in a black character and then be like, well, the black guy's got to be in the wheelchair. You can't have him being out here walking with them legs now.
What's he gonna do? Play basketball? Come on, no, fuck out of here. No, we can't have him.
Wow.
Can't win. That's what
It was literally my first thought. I saw Fitz and I was just like, Fitz has part of his face burnt off and is in a wheelchair. And I was like, yo, what did they do to the black guy? I was like, yo.
Wait, is he is he the only black guy?
Yes.
Right.
And he's not black in the comic book.
Going back to how they got their powers too, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously, it looks like whatever this thing on Skull Island has been calling out to people for centuries.
Yes, which was cool. I like
and it was just kind of like whoever out of the people I'm choosing to call out to gets the power pretty much. So it could have been anyone at any point in time that could have gotten the powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was dope. I like the fact that they showed like Vikings and all these generations and generations of people fighting. And then when they realize, I don't remember who it was, but someone looks and says, oh, they've been killing themselves at this point.
It was a girl.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name? His wife.
Lady Liberty is her superhero.
Lady
name.
Liberty, yeah.
I don't remember her thing.
Yeah. Grace?
Yes, Grace. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and she figured it out. I mean, again, it was a cool, but now what happens is by doing that, they unleash powers onto the rest of the world as well.
Yes, because other people had powers.
Yeah. So that to me was very eerily similar to the Nevers.
Yeah.
The way people like get power from this blast and like it attaches itself to the DNA of some and not others, right?
So you're giving just another example of how they're ripping off other shows and other properties.
It seems to be, they probably were filming around the same time. So
yeah, so that one
parallel thinking, maybe.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I agree.
What else about? Yeah. So anyway, the brother's turn should have happened way sooner. Should have happened actually after. He shouldn't. But the thing is, you have to be genuinely over your anger with your teammates in order to get the powers, right? Because they had to kind of like resolve their issues before the thing. So it had to be genuine. He couldn't have faked.
Yep.
Not getting over it. But then why? What was his reason? Like, do you remember what the reason was for him turning this time around?
Oh, he
just got tired of the code.
He's still just an angry asshole. I'm sure in the moment when George, Walt, and I don't remember what Utopian's real name is, Josh Duhamel's character.
Yeah.
But in that moment where they all had to put their hand,
Elliot?
Is it?
It's something stupid.
Sheldon.
Like that. Sheldon. Yeah.
These are some whack ass names.
Sheldon Sampson, Walt Sampson.
Again, they're from the 20s. The names make sense.
Oh, so these are these are like
the 1910s.
Old people names.
These are white folk from the 20s who somehow got.
They're from like the 1900s, like earlier.
Yeah.
And you're questioning why the only black dude in a wheelchair has his face burned?
No, but like, listen, they're much later. They're much later into.
Shit!
Much later, like things have progressed.
Yeah. They progressed to him being in a wheelchair. Yeah. with his face burnt off.
I'm trying to think of other characters that
You're really talking me to not want to watch this show.
No. Yo,
like,
Dave,
I literally had the girlfriend the other day. He's like, "Oh, we should watch this show and get excited." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And now I'm not.
If I like the show and I can understand what you would like it, I promise you.
You were saying you were liking because you went for a long deviation of like.
Dude, you didn't like Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you like this?
No, I didn't say I didn't like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
You just decide to critique things to the point that we think you hate it, but in reality, I love it.
I always clear it up.
He's right.
Listen, I said I didn't like the first few episodes, but I liked the last. I said the episodes I did like.
This is a moment where I wish we could literally play clips of him being like,
I know, right?
Yo, fuck this show. I'm not down.
Motivation
lost it.
You might not have said I don't like the show, but you definitely said this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hate it.
We also have to talk about when we talk about these things. I try to bucket them into like expectations versus no expectations.
Oh, okay.
Right? I have different expectations because of the level of involvement I have with Marvel and their and their offspring. But I have no expectations.
You expected more, so it should have been better.
Exactly.
Okay. I can actually agree with that because
I didn't expect much from this. Matter of fact, I expected not to like it.
Yeah.
Right. And I ended up going, well, I get what they're going for. Those things you mentioned did not make sense to me too.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's a fun watch though, because it's so different. Like it's more about the drama and the actual, like the consequences of your actions versus the actual action.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a different take on it, which I enjoyed.
I think one of the other things that really bothered me is Reiku being introduced at the end.
No, she was badass.
And Reiku is his daughter, Walt's daughter. And in the comic book, the Reiku fight with Jonathan, who's the grandson, and it's also the other thing is the fight is 4 years in the future, and there's a lot of stuff they do that's very different. But that fight was one of my favorite comic book fights because she's psychic and is so smart and powerful that the only way they could figure out how to beat her was to send their strongest fighter and have him just repeat the same thing over and over in his head as a way to try and block her from reading what he's thinking. And she's just like, you're trying to block your thoughts. I can tell. And he's just like, I did it on purpose to distract you so that you wouldn't see this coming. And then something just hits her and it starts one of the best fights. And they do all of this so that they can save this other character who's kind of like a Skylar from, or like a Peter from Heroes. Like he can copy anyone's powers, and his name's Repo, and Repo is so good. And that whole fight, like I love that fight. The fight between Repo versus Walt, where they're playing mind games with each other.
Yeah,
at one point, Repo's just like, he's just like, we're in this mind painting of yours. And then Walt's just like, no, we're over your dying mother. And then Repo's like, no, we're watching your first child drown. And they just keep trying to fuck with each other back and forth. And it's such a good mind fight. And you're like, yo, this is amazing. And what did they do in the TV show? Reiku gets her throat slit. One scene.
Well, I mean,
Toby.
they do show that. They do. Okay, so here's
no fight.
You're right. There is no fight. You know what? You're right about that part. But I think there's certain things you have to think budget, right?
There's only budget all right on this show.
There's only so many. There's only so many action scenes that you can actually bring to life versus a comic book, right? That's one thing we have to remember. Not everybody has Disney money.
Oh, I know.
But, oh my god!
Oh, I know.
But what I did like was learning. I was so mad at how weak Walt was the whole time.
Yeah,
like I was like, how are you so weak?
Yeah. They really.
Then you realize, it was all a ruse.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I was like, great. He's way powerful. This is a villain I could get behind if his motivations were a little different.
Yeah.
The
fact that the most money they spent on graphics was that the superheroes getting their powers.
Was it?
All that.
Yeah, I guess, but that's cheap. That's cheap. I don't know.
I
really like Chloe's fight scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is-
for
oh
real.
my
Like,
god.
this is not doing
For
good.
listeners,
I'm kind of like, I'm over this.
Dave has put up a pros and con list and has been writing down all the cons we've listed.
Oh
And so
my
far,
god.
it's like 20 cons to 2 pros.
Listen,
Yeah,
if
but you
anything,
like the
if
movie,
anything,
but
I
you like
brought
the
the
movie.
2 pros. I brought the 2 pros over. I didn't bring all those cons.
Yeah,
by
like
the way.
begrudgingly though. Like after I'm like, did you like
Not-
this movie? And you're like, oh yeah, sure. Here's one.
I started out by saying I liked it. Come on.
Yes.
which is why I said it would be
Shitty on for
hard.
30
Okay.
minutes.
That's
I
why we
would
should
like to
always
point
start.
out-
That's why we should start with the good. Because when you started, I
No,
was
that's
like,
why you should
I was like,
end with the good if you're trying to promote that. It's
no,
a
you
good
start
show.
with the good, and then you go, hey,
No,
listen,
you
these
should,
are the
it's
things.
a sandwich, Toby. Good.
There was no
then
way. That's
some
why I
bad,
asked.
then you
That's
end
why I
with
said
good.
there's no
This
coming
has
back
just
from this.
been meat.
After
This
Doc's
has just
tirade,
been-
I said that. I said there's no way we can walk people back from this.
Dear God.
Hey, man, I told
like-
y'all the truth. I
Yeah,
told you how I felt.
It's like saying you're looking, you're checking out a diet, but you've ordered like 5 cheeseburgers and just got a sundae. What the fuck is going?
My
You
my
just
favorite,
listen. You eat the sundae and the burger, and you call it
favorite
a
part,
night.
though, Toby at the beginning, when I said all my reasons, Toby said, okay, I have to give you that.
And yeah,
Right?
but not as like passionately.
No, I know.
I feel like you gave it no chance, and I'm over here saying, hey, you know what? The guy who's not normally the voice of reason.
Yeah, man, I watched. No, you know, it's.
Oh my God.
I watched it. I did watch it, and like I said, and I agreed with Toby when it came to the story that they developed apart from the comic book is actually good. I don't like that it's so similar to Kingdom Come, but I do like their take on it. However, I don't like the actions that they set up around it, and I don't like the flaws that they put in place. I don't like that Walt doesn't have his son, because I felt like his son is an important part in the comic book, because the son is one of the reasons Walt hates Sheldon is because he disrespects his son all the time. He says, he treats my son like shit. I don't like that he talks down to my son like that. That was a very big part of it at one point. And getting rid of the son and replacing him with that other Fire Fist dude was so weird, because I was just like, oh, that's Walt's son. And then they kill him, and there's this whole thing about them going to the funerals and all this stuff. And I was just like, this is really weird to me that they keep doing this. They keep just changing these pieces. But I was like, ultimately, the story was still good. So I was just like, okay. I mean, you change the pieces. I find it a little weird, but the story's still good. But at the end, when they ended it the way they did, that was a piece that I felt they changed too much. It was like taking the puzzle and you completely just change the colors of this piece, and now the corner of my puzzle doesn't match the rest. Because that, it doesn't look right. The picture doesn't look right. Because Reiku is a really, to me, I know her fight isn't for long, but her fight with Chloe and then Neutrino and Jonathan going into the Supermax prison and all this stuff that they do in the comic book, that stuff seemed really important to me. And if they're gonna do it later on, cool.
Well, they can't, right? Because
exactly, that's my thing. You kind of rearrange things to the point where it wouldn't be possible to do some of the stuff that they do in the comic book. And I think some of the stuff in the comic book is so good, it sucks that you've taken those options away.
Yeah. The only fight scene that was weak for me was a prison fight scene.
Yeah.
When Utopian and Paragon go to stop Black Star in prison, I thought that was a little okay, whatever. But everything else I liked. Honestly, like I said, Chloe's fight, even though it was short, was my favorite. Because she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like Chloe does not give 2 shits about no code.
Didn't
nobody.
she throw Chloe threw someone in space.
She punched her so hard.
Yeah.
She went into space.
Yeah. And then her girlfriend, Chloe punches a girl so hard the girl goes into space.
A girl who can't fly. Like a
Yeah.
super villain who can't fly. She punched her straight into space, but her girlfriend can fly, so she had to go and grab it. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, that's the thing. Great scenes, some really interesting stuff, a different take, introducing a magic van, loved it. Like the fact that there's a magic van that could drive through.
You are not going to talk about this shit show of a TV show for 20 minutes and then mention a magic van. Fuck off.
Yeah.
No.
You know what the
No,
saving
I
grace
said-
is?
I
No.
said
Wonder
so many
Woman's
cool things, guys. I said
airplane.
so
You're
many
like,
cool things.
no.
That nigga
cool
shit
things.
all over
See,
this and
yeah.
then brings up the magic
Like,
van.
seriously, for
I
30
told
minutes, you guys have not said, like, if we're
Yeah,
doing
I have to go
percentages
back.
of what you
Guys,
said good,
if I go back and listen to
That's
this, and I said
perfectly
at
fine.
least 5, and I said at least 5 positive things, y'all are sending me some money out here. I swear
no,
to
no,
God.
no.
I
When you
promise
say you like something, and for 30 minutes, and you have 30 minutes to talk about it, and for like half a minute, a whole minute, you guys say something nice. I'm sorry.
Oh man!
Fail.
I said I like the graphics. I said I like the fight scenes and how things are slowed down. I said I like the story. No, I didn't like the storyline very much. I said I liked Reiku. I said I like Chloe. I didn't
Is
really
that
like
it?
Brandon at all.
All right.
Um,
So you used up 45 seconds of your minute. I
like Sheldon and George's relationship. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
his never ending friendship. I'll follow
And
you to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
Support, loyalty. I thought that was cool too.
I feel like you've been digging down this whole time, and you're just trying to dig up.
I'm just, hey man, I'm trying to help you out. I want you to watch
Me,
it.
my girls who wants to watch it.
I like Sheldon. I like Sheldon's descent into insanity, like his in and out of insanity. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You can really see some of the acting choices coming through, I think, and I like it.
With his Saturday Night Live mustache.
Oh, stop. Okay, see, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad.
I will find you guys a screen cap, and I will show you exactly the scene. There's literally a scene.
Find it, make it a meme, and put it on the Instagram.
I saw there's literally a shot where I looked and saw the wispy fake hairs of the mustache, and I said, "Yo, you guys have to be kidding me with this budget." Anyways,
Black Star,
yeah,
is dope.
Black Star is practical effects,
yeah,
because he's not CG. Like it's a guy in a suit, but when he powers up and he almost goes nuclear, that was well done.
Yeah, it's it's cool.
You use your budget for like 5 of the things. You know how much money they probably put on
but it's 5 of the things that you spread out. You know, you sprinkle it.
Magic van. The magic fan?
Told you we're not doing that.
We only. Well, I'm not even gonna say it since I want you to watch it. Magic Van is there, live in action. It does do some cool things or two. Yeah, guys, watch it. I feel bad now because
there's a rumor that this show might be good, but why don't we just move on to Geek News and Rumors?
Yeah,
and wait. Away from this.
I feel like
shipwreck.
Brian's I feel like your tirade is probably worse than any tirade I've ever had on anything I hate on this show.
I'll take that crown.
You immediately dropped the nuclear bomb on it.
Like Skinny said, they can't give us 2 of them.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Gotta take away.
No.
All right.
Watch it, Skinny.
Let's get to the shit, man. We gotta end this show. Geek News and Rumors. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the insanity of this long ass show where we went crazy, but we're gonna wrap it up.
You went crazy.
He's been here with popcorn.
Yeah, I'm sitting in silence while you talking about a shitty ass show.
I feel like we spoke for like 30 minutes.
I'm like,
I didn't even realize you guys barely spoke.
You guys did a tribute to the Joe Budding podcast. Every time I tried to talk about something, you're like, but wait a minute, I hated this too.
And then talking about a magic van. Fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
Regina King is the director. Regina King got tapped to direct Bitterroot adaptation from Image Comics.
Get out of here, dog. Get out of here. I'm gonna read this shit. Get out of here.
Shout out to the Queen. Shout out to the Queen, Regina King. Good
job. Good job, Regina.
Wait, hold on. I should really start with this. Miller World update. Speaking of all the failures to
No.
Oh
the
man.
Magic Order is back on the docket, and after being dropped in October 2020,
Yeah, because they realized it was too close to that other. What was the other one? The Order.
they literally had one called the Order
The
or the
Order,
Magic or something. Super Crooks, the Mark Millar series about a bunch of super crooks trying to pull off this one big heist, is going to be done as an anime. I don't know why, but let's hope.
This
Because
guy.
the comic book's great. I just don't understand why you're doing it as an anime. Reborn, Empress, Huck, and Sharky the Bounty Hunter are all in different stages of development.
They're terrible names.
Films. Yeah,
I'm nervous for, based on what you guys described for Jupiter trash pile.
Hold
I'm really
on.
nervous for Empress.
Question.
Oh, man.
Empress
Very
is
nervous.
good too.
Empress.
Out of all them niggas, who the fuck is called Jupiter?
No.
No. There's no one's
no
called
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Are you?
Thank you.
It's
you.
it's
I
not.
would say that.
Show's done. I'm out.
I would say that Kenny, I remember the first time. The reason I bought the comic book is because I'm a Greek mythology nerd. You guys know that about me. And when I saw Jupiter's Legacy, I thought it was going to be superheroes who got Jupiter's, like, the Roman god powers. And I was just like, all right. And then I read the comic book. I'm like, none of these niggas have.
Yeah, but I can't believe we can't be going back to this.
You can't like.
This is the Joe Budden podcast.
You haven't even watched it yet, or your mind's been infected. Steve.
No, I don't even.
But yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. It looks like at some point, it does look like at some point they're on the planet Jupiter. Right? No, doesn't it look like that on the show?
Dude, you're trying to fish for this.
When they're-
Toby,
I swear.
I know what you're saying. It's still a reach. I know exactly what scene you're talking about. It's still a reach.
Oh man.
Even though I can picture the exact scene when they go into the portal and they're on that and the sky and everything.
Yes, I was asking myself the whole show, where's Jupiter? What's this legacy about? And then I see this, and it was sufficient for me to let that question go. So I'm just letting you know there might be an answer within the show that answers that question.
Oh my god.
Oh shite.
Oh
wow.
To the next.
Guys, can I just say how much I love doing this show with y'all?
Yeah, man. we like
Real
this
talk.
show too.
I honestly, when getting to laugh like this over pure stupidity,
Wait,
makes me happy.
sorry, one last time. My man Steven DeKnight did this, and it's still shit.
No,
Yeah.
come on. It's not, dude. It's not shit.
I don't know.
It's
Go
not
on.
shit.
I will
I
watch
want, I
it
want you
then.
to watch it and come next episode.
I'll
Come
watch it
next
for
week.
him because I like Steven Eston. I like him.
Come
What,
next
what,
week.
did he, what else did he work on?
Daredevil season 1, didn't he?
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Oh no!
That's the biggest jab on the side. Like,
It's
no, I mean, you had
Daredevil
something
season
good,
1.
but this shit stain ruined your entire.
Oh my gosh.
Daredevil season 1 is great, and the fact that this is what he's doing now, I'm a little.
Actually, wait. Let me go back. He directed episode 1 and wrote 3 episodes.
Oh, okay. I'm a lot of concern.
He was a showrunner. He just didn't stay the showrunner.
Oh,
But he did Spartacus, Smallville, Dollhouse, Angel, Buffy.
yeah. I'm guessing that's what happens when he has money.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Next story. Nope.
Next rumor.
Of course, Metapocalypse and the Venture Brothers movies are coming back to Adult Swim.
10 years later. Why?
Yeah,
For what?
Well, no, they're. I think they're doing movies to potentially wrap up some of the stories, which is kind of cool.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's my assumption. If they continue making movies afterwards, then I'm happy for Venture Brothers. I could care less about the other two.
I know.
Metalocalypse was gross. That shit was too nuts.
I never watched that show.
That shit was crazy.
It's intense.
People's
I-
faces melting off and stuff is
Yeah.
really nuts. And even in a cartoon, it's like, okay.
Oh shit. Okay, we got to
Yeah.
wrap. Shit. No, that's no. When I say that, I take 100% responsibility for being the reason that we went this way. I acknowledge that.
It's okay. You could share it with Toby.
Yep.
God. I don't want any of that smoke.
David Harbour hints at new MCU superhero team while promoting the Black Widow upcoming theatrical release. David Harbour slyly name drops a potential future MCU superhero team. I'm guessing
The
he's
Winter
talking about. Yeah, the Winter Guard. Okay.
And,
I mean,
and there was a 2017 movie, like a Russian film called Guardians or The Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did see
watched
that. And they
it. I
did
watched
have a
that. It
giant
wasn't
bear.
bad.
Yes. So
Yeah,
It wasn't bad.
I don't know. I don't know how that ties in. I don't know where they
Oh,
got. They
Toby?
obviously got the idea from that because
Toby,
it's the same kind of characters. Yeah,
I think that might have just ripped off Winter Guard.
I think it did.
Yeah.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of
It's
people
called
were saying
Guardians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty
A
obvious.
lot of people are
How
saying
did I
that.
not notice Ursa? Ursa's like,
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest part of the movie. Yeah.
A giant
Emily
bear.
Blunt. Emily Blunt talks about why she turned down Black Widow role, and also essentially says she's not going to
Not
be.
down.
She's not doing Sue Storm, guys. It's
Wow.
she said. Yeah,
Fuck
she
you, Emily.
She literally said that it has to be really cool and interesting, which is also a pretty big jab at all the Marvel. If you ask me.
Yeah, she pretty
You
much
did live, die, repeat. You can't say nothing.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What?
you talking about?
That was a great movie.
It was a great movie, but you're gonna turn down Fantastic Four because what you did live, die, repeat.
I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying. If you're gonna do a movie like that, why are you hating on superhero genre? You did a movie that essentially, if you change the lead character to any superhero, I get it. I get what Skinny's saying. I get
Could
it.
have easily been like a Bishop movie.
Yeah, something like that.
Is she pulling a Tatiana Maslany here?
Oh, that would be a good. Actually, that would be a better way of doing it than to be like, I am not in this movie. I am not in this movie.
Those rumors just got out of hand. Oh
Yeah.
no! What are you? Why are you lying like that? Anyway.
Another bit of geek news that came up while we've been talking. It's just been made official that Suicide Squad got rated R.
Oh,
It didn't have this official ruling until while we've been talking.
Okay,
That's crazy. There's going to be nudity in it then.
full frontal. Nice.
It says here. Rated R for strong violence, gore, language throughout some sexual references, drug use, and brief graphic nudity.
Yeah. So we're either going to see John Cena naked,
Yeah.
or we're going to see King Shark naked.
We're seeing a King Shark penis. We're seeing a King Shark penis.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, we are.
Yo,
Yes, we are.
After the boys did the guy with the penis that wrapped around what's his name's neck.
Oh,
Oh my God.
They're all gonna try and
forgot
outdo
about
it.
that.
They're
Why'd you have
all
to bring
gonna
that
try and
back?
outdo it. That's what.
Why'd you have to do that? I didn't want to remember that.
Hey man,
I know.
you guys just planted the seed of King Shark dick in my head.
I'm me. Look, don't say you guys. There's someone specific
You
here.
planted the seed of King Shark dick in my head.
Getting all these accusations thrown to my way.
Y'all out here painting pictures I don't want to fucking see.
Hey, man, you painted Jupiter's picture for a long ass minute.
Maybe if you didn't work so hard before.
Okay, we gotta bounce. This was a wild episode. The fact that all y'all stuck it out and watched all the insanity,
bro.
we appreciate y'all. Shout out to Dan, Peggy, Jay Grizz.
Oh, Peggy, what up, dog? Shout out to Peggy.
Yeah, Lisa, Lee J.
Hey.
There's a whole bunch of you in here in these comments. We appreciate y'all tuning in on the weekly. We want to remind you guys once again, this is the last week. The deadline to vote for Cult MTL is Sunday at 11:59 p.m. If you guys haven't voted, we'd appreciate you vote for us in category 23 for best podcast. If you have voted for us, we appreciate the votes. Please tell your friends, your cousins, your moms, your dad, your little sister. If you have to do it for them, by all means, help them out. Put in our name. Y'all know the deal. That's the whole show. We'll be back. This is episode 248. Next week's 249. We're going to do the last episode of the month, but we'll be back June 2nd for episode 250. So make sure you guys put that in your calendars. We're out, guys. That's pretty much the whole show. We love y'all. Peace.
Deuces.
No one's going to watch that shit.
Watch it, man.